Yo, what is the deal? What is the deal? How's everybody doing today, man? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent, man. Shout outs and salutations to everybody in the chat, man. Listen, do me a favor, man. Share this thing out to all different social media platforms. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I know I have not done a solo show in a while, but it's okay. It is all right. Because we are back. Damn it, I just took my sweatshirt off and I got lint all on my shirt, man. Shout out to menoforder.com. Shout out to all of our wonderful products on menoforder.com. We have Apex, Flow, all for all your needs. If you're going to the gym, if you're going to school and you're a little foggy and you need some focus, we got something for you at menoforder.com, yo. Shout out to all my brothers at Menoforder. What is the deal, y'all? We got over 106 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend and tell a friend. Now, listen, guys, there's a lot that's been going on. Now, I know others have talked about the Davante Adams interview. I got a chance to listen to it in its entirety. And let me tell you guys something, man. I am very, very excited for what I heard from Davante Adams. I was very, very excited from what I heard from Maxx Crosby. We're going to get into a little of that. We're going to get into a little Xavien Howard stuff. We're also going to break down some of the prospects that we have. One in particular I want to talk about. We're going to do this, over time now. But, guys, let's get into the Davante Adams talk, man. I mean, man, it was a most splendiferous occasion over on the Rush podcast. Shout out to Maxx Crosby, man. And Davante Adams touched on a lot of the big differences he's noticed upon entering the building for the Raiders. He said after being traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Las Vegas Raiders, the all-pro wide receiver said that he noticed a big difference in the level of competitive nature in the building. It's unbelievable, man. He said that one thing I'll say about the Raiders is that the moment I stepped through this building, it's way more competitive than when we were in Green Bay. He added, in Green Bay, we had great teams, and we found a way to win. But when you talk about the competitive nature, there's a lot more guys in Las Vegas that got that kind of same mentality as Jaire Alexander had. Adams went on to tell the theory of how he beat Alexander in a one-on-one in practice one day and how the cornerback did not handle it well. Said Alexander immediately went back and looked at film to see what went wrong before asking Adams what he could have done differently, which impressed the wideout. Adams also touched on his inning with the Packers, stating that he does not have any regrets about being traded despite a pair of losing seasons. And, man, it looks like he's bought all in. So, look, the one good thing that I got from this, because there's always this nonsense about Davante Adams wanting to leave, him wanting to go here and there. The great thing about this is you heard it from the horse's mouth. Davante Adams ain't trying to go nowhere, man. He loves it in Las Vegas. He's on the West Coast. He's in a situation he feels like he can win. And, I love the fact that he stated that. Now, look, the NFL is a lot different than the NBA, bro. NBA guys now, they don't have that dog in them. NFL guys got that dog in them, man. You don't have guys trying to move around and go to teams and super teams and thinking they have no chance to win. I love it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. My guy, Anthony R. Hernandez. Blessings to you and the nation, big bro. Appreciate my dog, Anthony R. Hernandez, with the first super of the day. Appreciate you for keeping the lights on at Raider Nation Unlimited, man. My guy, Anthony Crane. Blessings, champ. Always ready to receive some legit content, man. Shout out to my dog, Anthony Kane, man. Yo, Erica, what is the deal? What's good, man? Would you say this draft is leather? Always good to see you. Yeah, we're going to get into the draft, y'all. We're going to definitely get into the draft, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just went and started talking, man. I didn't get my shout out to salutations, man. My guy, Chaos Raider, Randall Carter, Daniel, High Stakes Teaser, Justin Brown, Gatling Gun. Man, my dog Will is in the place. Sean Johnson is in the building. The Flying Wonderful, Yvette Niles. Man, shout out to her. Demented Raider, man. Patrick B. My dog J&J Galindo, man. Tyler McMillan, James Williams, Matt Marinovich. Matt Marinovich is starting early. Why don't you warm it up there, Matt Marinovich? He goes, Minshew or AOC? Look, man, I like that we got Gardner Minshew. I love his swagger. He seems like a Raider. The thing is, I will prefer the young guy to take that job, man. I will prefer for the young guy to take the job, man. I'm hoping Aiden O'Connell can round into the quarterback that, we could hope he could be a starter. Because that would be a steal for the Raiders. For us to figure the quarterback position out from a 4th-round pick, a guy on that kind of contract, man, you can build a hell of a roster if Aiden O'Connell does well. And he's young. And we kind of, we don't know what Aiden O'Connell could be. That's the great thing about him. The how can I say, man? The currency of the unknown is a big thing when it comes to young players. When you have a guy like Gardner Minshew who's kind of been around the league, we kind of know what Gardner Minshew could be. Now, if I'm being honest, there have been guys who have had a second and third act in the National Football League, i.e. a Rich Gannon, where they take a tremendous step forward because they're in the right situation. Because there's people, places, and things. We talk about this all the time on Raider Nation Unlimited. We talk about this here all the time. People, places, and things. Some people need to be in the right place so things can work for the better. So you can see the best version of themselves. But the commodity of the unknown with the Aiden O'Connell is big for me. And the fact that he's in his second year, and the fact that Aiden O'Connell is in a winning situation right off the bat, and the fact that last week I was saying he didn't look like he was in a bet. I saw some pictures of Aiden O'Connell. I stand corrected. Aiden O'Connell looks great, man. Aiden O'Connell looks great. He looks like he's out there. He's working hard. The team's buying into him. The one thing I've loved about Aiden O'Connell is the fact that he's a man. He stands in the pocket. He delivers that ball. We got almost 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. What the F is going on here? My guy, Jack Burton. Wasted equals my bro from Jersey. Shout out. Fire. Yo, my dog, Jack Burton, is in a place, man. Yo, listen, anybody who says Brock Bowers is getting unceremoniously blocked, the F is wrong with you guys. We got over 300 in the room. Yes, that's right, Lewis Dixon. Jim Plunkett is another example. So, look, man, the way that I love that this roster has been built is that we've gone out there and we have tapped into young players, because that's how you win in the National Football League. But the thing that I love that Coupon Tom has done up and down his roster is he's gone out there and he's put a veteran who started somewhere else in the league in a positional group. He's taken a person who has started somewhere else in the league, and that is big for me. That's big for me because we are not rudderless now. Now we know if something doesn't work out, we have a way to pivot. There's somebody in waiting who can help us out and move this thing forward because this is too talented of a roster for us to be mediocre. Way, way, way too talented of a roster, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. My brother LV Maximus in the place, the mod father himself. LV Maximus, man. Thick frames are the stars of the show. And yo, you know what a funny thing? They are. Football is one in the middle of the field. It's one up front. From the quarterback having time to throw the football to the running back having holes to run through, it's one up front. And on the defensive end of the ball, hey, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So if you have a dominant defensive front who can get pressure up the middle of the field and not from the edges, man, that's nothing but right. Look at the best defensive player in the league for the last decade. It's Aaron Donald, hands down, because he was so damn disruptive. So disruptive. There was a lot of other things, man, that have been going on, man. We had the draft. I think we kicked ass in the draft. I really do. I've given this draft a B+, and because we did not get our quarterback. We didn't go out there. We didn't draft a quarterback. I am of the estimation that even if you don't draft a quarterback, number one, I want you to draft a quarterback every single draft until you locate the quarterback. That's how I would be if I was a GM. Even if I got one in the third or the fourth, I would be drafting a quarterback every single draft. But yeah, as far as that goes, bro, best case scenario, AOC beats out Minshew because Minshew's solid. But then that means that if AOC beats out Minshew, we know we got something. We know we got a starter. This is what we know, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. My guy, Devastator. Tom is playing his first year very smart. unlikely he loses his job from these draft picks, and that's a fact. That's and you know what's greatly, greatly appreciated from me when it comes to Tom Telesco? The fact that he plays chess and not checkers. He does not give up his hand very, very easy. He doesn't give up his hand. He doesn't do too much talking and posturing in the media, man. It's good to have an adult in the room running things too, man. My guy, Redbone, Thayer got this too. He knows it's his job to lose. He's finally getting his shot at the starting full season. Trust me, he ain't letting that go. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a humongous Thayer Munford fan. Humongous. I saw the talent in him at Ohio State. I think, and I know I could be jumping out the window right now. I think Thayer Munford, man, could be a guy who gets a big contract from the Raiders one day. I do. I think that is Thayer Munford's job. I had no doubts that Thayer Munford would win that job. I had no doubts. I was more so focused on center and guard. That's what I wanted addressed at the offensive line. As far as our tackles go, listen, I'm cool with keeping Colton, and I'm cool with keeping Thayer Munford. I really am, man. I have a lot of faith in Thayer Munford. A lot of faith. And I'm glad what we've done. And I'm going to be honest with you. With Jackson Powers, man, look out for Jackson Powers taking that job from Andre James if Andre James gets ragdolled again the way he did last year. Now, Andre James is a darling of Pro Football Focus. He looks like he's one of the better centers in the league. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. When he has to deal with those hog mollies up front, those special defensive tackles, those guys who can move that pile, he gets put in his quarterback's lap more often than not. And that's the danger with not looking at the tape and only taking stats for granted. That's the danger in this. You have to look at the tape. You have to look at what's happening when he's on the field. You have to look at if he's able to sustain any level of dominance up front. We got almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. My guy, Cisco Duarte is in a place. Question. How long or short is Luke Getsy's leash? If our offense doesn't produce after a few games, what are we doing? Letting him finish the season? He wasn't our first option at OC. Now, look, the reason why I think he gets a pretty long leash because, one, bad organizations paradigm shift that fast, right? And we're not a bad organization right now. Two, Luke Getsy wasn't the supposed first choice, but guess whose choice he most likely is? Champ Kelly and Davante Adams. For us to think that Champ Kelly and Davante Adams did not sign off on this move is I think a little misguided. And to be real with you, I think too much is made of coordinators a lot of times. Players got to execute. Players have got to execute. I remember a lot of us, including myself, were like, hey, we need to see more from Patrick Graham. And it's not Patrick Graham all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, all the time the coordinators. Sometimes if you have a head coach that meddles, that can throw things off. If you have players that aren't executing, that throws things off. Now, I know the idea of coaching is to get guys to a certain level, to coach them up to a certain level, to make them better players before you get your hands on them to after you get your hands on them, right? But it's also up to these players to execute. And the good thing about the guys that we have on this team is that we have a team that's accountable. We have a team that's present. We have people who care, right? And we have some star players who are used to executing at a high level. So execution is key, and it really comes from up front and the quarterback. But if I'm being honest, Luke Getsy doesn't get enough credit for a lot of the great things he did in Green Bay. People always harken back to his tenure with the Chicago Bears, the 2 years he had there. And the reason why he was the offensive coordinator there was the good things that he did in Green Bay and the hand he had in developing Jordan Love. My guy, Raider Ribs, is in a place, man. Wasted. By the time DA retires, Brock will be able to take over by then. So it'll be a perfect pick at 13. Yo, look. If I'm being honest, I'm hoping we have enough. Like, I don't really want a tight end to be the total focus of our offense. To me, I want us to have a situation where we see all over the league. Like when you had Travis Kelce killing the middle, you had Tyreek Hill taking the top off the defense. That's what I always want here, brother. That's what I always want. Shout out to everybody. And yo, shout out to Hondo Carpenter, man. Yo, Davante Adams gave Hondo Carpenter big love in that interview. That was really dope, man. Really, really dope, man. Percy G, what up, Wasted? I love this draft, man. I feel like we finally didn't reach, especially on our first, second picks. Building a team is more than having a QB. And that's what I feel like we're doing. And that's a fact, Percy G. Listen, the main crux of what happened here is that needs all up and down this team were addressed. This team was strengthened. And no matter who we have playing quarterback, he has a hell of a roster he's up there leading. You know what I mean? I would prefer that than having a roster with a bunch of holes and just having a quarterback that we want crazy to go get. Shout out to everybody in chat. How the hell do y'all do that, man? Well, you guys get a thumbs up when I can see it on screen. That is pretty dope. My guy, Sean Thoughts. We haven't seen AOC with an actual offensive line, a running back who wasn't hurt, or a playbook that isn't a piece by piece of last dude's stuff. And you know what? I have to agree with you. Give the kid a fair shake. I'm not going to say he's going to be some world beater, but give him a fair shake to try to earn his medal here. Yes, sir, man. Yo, shout out to my brother Thor and a place to be, man. So, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to go and we're going to get into some of these guys that we drafted, right? And to be honest with you, the one guy that I really want to talk about that I'm excited about that we got later on in this draft is Trey Taylor, man. Man, Trey Taylor is a missile. Man, I love the signing of Trey Taylor, man. I love the signing of Trey Taylor, man. In his tape, it just jumps out at you, man. It just jumps out at you, man. I mean, the one thing I've seen about him, man, is that he looks like a missile. He is out there laying the wood, man. Laying the wood. He looks like a true Raider to me, man. Looks like a true Raider to me, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me get to some of these. Let me get this super chat, man. My guy, man. My bad. Boy Koa. What's up? Wasted from Hawaii. Brock Bowers. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to my dog, man. Yo, my guy, Dan Teaser. I got that Amari Cooper jersey that I'm modifying to a Brock Bowers jersey with duct tape and a Sharpie. That's the only way to do it, yo. That is the only way to do it, man. You will go into debt trying to keep up with the Raider numbers that we don't have, man. Brock Bowers. Y'all are going crazy with this Brock Bowers nonsense, man. But listen, you guys will be getting unceremoniously blocked. The F is wrong with you guys, man. But let me get focused here, man. Listen, man. Yo, Trey Taylor is a guy who is an urgent run defender, man. He works around blockers and make plays. He's one of these safeties that you can bring up to the line of scrimmage. He's a great tackler. He's a missile, man. He is a missile, man. He knows how to wrap people up, man. Yo, I mean, he was given an 83.9 grade from Pro Football Focus, man. You know, and Taylor won the Thorpe Award as the nation's top defensive back, too. He registered 71 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown, man. The dude was a beast, man. I mean, he was a freaking steal, and nobody was talking about him. Nobody was talking about him. Now, that's why I love it, man. These guys did their homework, man. These guys did their homework, man. They did their homework on this kid, man. I am super excited about this kid, man. Super excited about him, man. I mean, he is man, he's a star, man. I think, man. He looks like a star. He's very, very instinctive, too, man. He plays proficient with speed and burst, man. He's tough. I mean, he is a hell of a Raider. He is the pick. Him and Jackson Powers, man, are the 2 picks that I'm most excited about in this draft, man. Shout out to everybody in the ring. My guy Yeti Strain, man. So I'm late. Did we sign anybody? Hope all is well. Wasted. Appreciate you. No, the last person we signed is Michael Gallup. We'll get into that a little later. There are rumors that the Raiders are kicking the tires on Xavien Howard. We're going to get into that for a little bit. Now, there's a lot of people who are very excited about the Xavien Howard move. And I'm going to tell you whether I am pretty soon, man. But yo, this is the thing that you can tell. And my guy Sean Thoughts is saying this, man. And this is the real dope right here, too, man. Watching the film and the draft picks, you can see Tom T and AP drafted dudes who will come in and fight. Haven't been this hype about a Raiders draft in years. Yo, that's a fact. A lot of the guys that I see, they are super aggressive. They're hitters. Like even DJ Glaze. He is, yo, listen, man, when you start looking at some of these PFF numbers, you know, he was one of the highest rated pass blocking guards out there. You would have never known that. I loved it, man. I love that pick, man. That kid Glaze looked like he for real too, man. My guy Larry DM was stunned to see Maxx co-sign Hondo today as a legit Raider source. I've always questioned him. Larry DM, let me ask you a question. You see the way that I move in this Raider thing, right? You see the way I move in this thing. You see the way Graf moves in this thing? Look, man, I don't deal with bullshit people, right? Hondo is in the building every single day, bro. Every single day. You know what I'm saying? Hondo is legit as it could be. He's in the building every day. There's only so many people that's in the building every day. Give Hondo his flowers, man. Give Hondo his flowers. We got almost 600 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted, man. Now, see, a lot of the reason why, we got to get back to Trey Taylor here. A lot of the reason why people have not really given Trey Taylor his flowers, right, is because of the fact that he played at Air Force. And to be that's a fair and a valid point, man. But let me tell you something. Some of his strengths has, his body control, flashes great ball skills, man, fluidity. I noticed the fluidity. He's changing direction. He can get his hips around and go backwards and intercept the football. He has very good length. He's a fluid mover in the middle of the field as well. I think he's a guy who could take somebody's job. I really do. Tracks the ball tremendously well and does a nice job of getting his head around too. Now some of the weaknesses of Taylor, man, is, he could be over aggressive when he attacks the ball downhill. He reminds me a little bit of Carl Joseph that way. And, while he has man coverage skills, he struggles when he has to sit back in his zone. He's not like as instinctive as you would like to be. And he struggles reading downfield routes and tracking the ball deep. So he's a guy that is definitely a project he's going to have to be worked on. He definitely is. I'm not saying he's a product that is ready to roll, but I love what I see from this kid. And you guys should all be excited about this kid, man. Casper, I think Hondo lost a lot of credibility. You said McDaniels is going nowhere. It hasn't lost the locker room. He was fired 2 weeks later. I think that's a bullshit take, Casper, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Josh McDaniels move was something that was predicated on the way the fan base, us, reacted to how things were going. I think it was something that changed by the second. I don't think that, Mark Davis intended to fire Josh McDaniels. I think he intended to let him finish the season now. But I think the screams and the cries from Raider Nation, myself and a lot of other content creators, don't think that what we talk about on this internet happens in a vacuum. The teams, the media, they watch this stuff. People showing up to the games, browbeating, Mark Davis at the Charger game. That shit matters, Casper. It matters, bro. And if I'm being honest, I think the situation changed by the day, and that is why. I think the information that he got previous to that was that they weren't looking to fire him. And if you heard what Davante Adams said, it wasn't like he lost the locker room. He didn't lose the locker room. It was just the fact that, there were some mistakes that he made, and once he left and his presence was out of the building, the team was like, wow, this is different. We like this shit. And I think that's why you kind of see things turn around a little bit. I think, with Josh McDaniels, a lot of his football acumen He's a smart guy, knows what he's doing. Offensive players like playing for a smart guy like that, but it's paralysis by analysis. And I'm going to be honest with you. You got to give Hondo grace on that. And I'm not here to be some Hondo apologist or anything, but you got to give him grace on that. I think it's BS too. I like Hondo. I'm saying a lot of people can't let go, and that's why. Oh no, Casper, 100%. I'm not coming for you. I'm just explaining what we got going on, man. But shout out to my guy Casper, man. I really, really appreciate you. My guy Ben Bad is in the place, man. And yeah, it was too much finger pointing, but he's out of here though, Dan. He's out of here. So F him. He is no longer here. He was thrown under the bus. Effing Josh McDaniels. Oh, wherever he is, F him. 1,000% wasted. Be careful how y'all fan with the development of young boys coming up. Yeah, and look, and that's valid, bro. That's valid. You got to give people the grace and the space to develop. That's one thing that we haven't done. You know, a lot of us, we want to win right now. A lot of us, and guys, gather around the fire. This is another wasted talent soapbox moment. Shout out to my brother Justin Lawson, a member of the Raider Nation Army that is growing in droves. Thank you. Appreciate you, my brother. But listen, when I sit up here and I think about all of this, right? And I look at what we got going on, man. You have to make sure that you are letting these guys develop. You got to give people the space to change the culture here. You do. You really do, man. So let's not rush the judgment on these guys. Let's give these guys the latitude and the space to be great. Shout out to my bro Graph is in a place to be, man. RM, what the F are you talking about? Hell no. You about to get unceremoniously blocked, RM. F out of my chat with that Niners crap. Powers Johnson saying the autumn winners of Pirate is awesome to see. Good way to get in with the nation. Yeah, Patrick B, it is great. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm of the age where, yo, it's great to see people that want to be here. It's great to see people who love this organization, but it's even better to see people who come in here and play well. So I hope he plays as well as he loves this team. I really do. It's just going, yeah. And listen, I've done that too, and I've learned my lesson, bro. Look, I short circuited because listen, when I saw Jalen Carter last year, man, bro, I've always wanted a beastly defensive tackle up front, and I want nuts. I did, and that's the reason why I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, man. My guy, Sean Thoughts. Davante talked about giving young players time. He shared how they called him garbage after his first season. We have to see the talent, the drive, the desire in kids to make their mistakes, and that's the fact. Yeah. You better be kidding, RM. You better be effing kidding. You about to get Yo, Graph is on timeout right now. You are about to timeout. Graphic, you have been put in timeout. The F out of here with that. Oh, man, I was kidding around. Did I really block him? Yo, Grab, my bad. Yo, I got to go back. I put him on timeout. The F out of here with that Brock Bowers. Drake or Kendrick, it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. The F out of here. So I got to go back and fix that, man. I'm fucking with you, Grab. Nah, yeah, but listen, let's get into Xavien Howard, y'all. Let's get into this. No, listen. I'm not talking hip hop right now. It's too early to tell, man. Graf, you've been put on timeout. Now, I hope you learned a valuable lesson here. God! Wow! I hope you've learned a valuable lesson, Graphic Raider. The F is wrong with you. Oh, my God, yo. The nation got to hold these players up and not issue them, especially on Instagram. Yeah, we do, but then at least we got to hold them accountable, especially when it's guys that have been here a long time, too. Definitely do, yo. Oh, my God, yo. Oh, my God, yo. Y'all stupid, yo. But look, let's get into Xavien Howard, y'all. Now, there's a lot of rumors swirling around if the Raiders are going to bring in the 4-time Pro Bowler. And some people ask if he'd be a fit. Now, look, there are a lot of people such as myself who look at Xavien Howard and they say, hey, man, this is perfect. You know, he had a pretty damn good season when he was a rising star playing under Patrick Graham in 2019, right? Now we got a defensive head coach, and Miami has jettisoned him, and he's been out there since since the beginning of free agency. I'm surprised nobody went and picked this guy up, man. But, Xavien Howard and Patrick Graham definitely make sense. They were both together with the Dolphins, man. While Howard got hurt that season and he only played 5 games, he should have a level of familiarity with what Patrick Graham does, man. And, the Raiders haven't given Graham, much to work with when it comes to, free agency and stuff. This year they have. They've gone out there and got him. Now, another thing about bringing in Xavien Howard is he is a guy who has played with Christian Wilkins. He's a guy who played with Christian Wilkins. He has familiarity with Christian Wilkins. Now, is he the right fit for the Raiders, man, is the question, man. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, man. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He led the league in interceptions in 2018 and 2020. But he's only had 1 interception in each of his last 2 seasons, man. And he's getting up there in age, and he's had a lot of injuries, which we are going to go back and look over. Now, the Raiders might be scared off from this move because of what happened with Marcus Peters, right? They took a chance last year. They signed Marcus Peters. It didn't work out well during the season. Now, Howard is a player that Patrick Graham knows, so who knows? And the difference is I think that Marcus Peters I don't think he has as much football left in him as Xavien Howard does. The Raiders do need a number 1 quarterback. However, I'm not looking for Howard to be that number 1 quarterback. I'm looking for Howard to be a guy to put on the other side of Jack Jones so that together they can craft a great unit. You have a guy in Jacorian Bennett there. In the slot, you have Nate Hobbs. You got guys in the defensive secondary, and we can put together a hellacious defense here, man. He'd be a great fallback to Jack Jones, man. He definitely would. Now, Xavien Howard, man, has had a lot of injuries over the year, man. He's had a lot of injuries, man. And, there's a lot of people who might want to run away from deals like this. A lot of people might say, this is the old Raiders. Don't sign an injury-prone player. People were talking about the Michael Gallup deal. Now, this is the thing about Xavien Howard and the way you can structure his contract. If you can bring him in for a similar contract to Michael Gallup, I think it's nothing but right, man. It's nothing but right. So, look, what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to share Xavien Howard's injury history for you guys. A whole detailed look at his injuries. 2019, knee and patella strain. Can you guys see this? All right, you guys can see it. Knee and patella strain. Groin pull grade 1. Aggravated in week 4, sat out week 5 in 2022, 2023. Groin pull grade 1, sat out 2 games. December the 31st, last past season, left the first quarter, week 17 versus the Raiders with a left foot injury. 2019, December the 19th last year, hip strain, sat out. Now, this is a guy who, had a knee injury and really hasn't been the same. He's been getting these nagging injuries and stuff like that. They've all been on the same side of the body. So there's something with that side of his body, man. But I think, Xavien Howard sitting out, getting pretty healthy, having all of this time to heal, I think that would be something that's going to have him trending in the trajectory where he'll actually be able to craft together a season. I think he's due. My guy Allen, love the show. Wasted first time commenting. Let's just get into the playoffs. Then we got a shot with that D. Pause. Oh my God, what the F is going on here, Allen? What's wrong with you? You be doing that. Wasted. What about Simmons? Now listen, Simmons is a guy who's a star player, right? Listen, I want to bring in as many good players as possible. Now, you guys have heard that the Raiders are sitting on about $18 million in cap space. They'll be sitting on about $24 million as the offseason progresses because the money from Jimmy Garoppolo will come off the books. The thing about it is, man, listen, I have no problem with taking him, man, and letting Marcus Epps walk next year because I think Justin Simmons is a better player than Marcus Epps. I do, right? The thing about it is, what kind of money are you going to have to pay Simmons, and why is he still twisting in the wind? This guy was a superstar. My guy Israel Young, love your show, bro. Appreciate you, man. Elite Medstaff, I would make a run at Stephon Gilmore. He does know, but this is the thing, Elite. Stephon Gilmore looks to be on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and Hall of Fame guys play well into the twilight years of their career. I just think with Xavien Howard, you can get him cheaper. He's played at a high level as well, and I think he has more football left. He has more football left. You guys can't see. I am a Gilmore fan, though. I have no problem with bringing either one of them. I'm just more of a Howard guy at this point because of his connection to Graham and the fact that he's younger. The great and powerful slap nuts. Honestly, I'm cool whatever these guys do. This is the first time in 25 years I have felt confident the way the team is being ran. Be cool for some of the younger fans to see the old Raiders. No, it would be cool, man. It would be cool, and it'd be glad. Like the thing for me, man, I want to give, my daughter. I want the Raiders to give my daughter something to root for. I want the Raiders to give my nephews who are Raider fans because of me something to root for. All of these young fans. I want to see Raider hats and stuff flying off the shelves, the merch flying off the shelves. And when I go places, like it was crazy when Graf and I were at the draft, we didn't see as many Raider fans as we thought. And look, Detroit showed up and showed out, man. They were there. Shout out to Detroit, man. But there was not as many Raider fans as I thought. And that's the first time I've ever been in a public football setting and not seen a shitload of Raider fans everywhere. I'm telling you. So look, I want the next generation to pop up. Wasted on the podcast, you and Docs with Hondo. Hondo said that Howard is a terrible locker room guy and AP would hate his attitude. He didn't say that per se. What I will say is this. I have a lot of faith in the leadership in his locker room. I have a lot of faith on, guys going through things in their career and being humble. I have a lot of faith in that. RM, you are about to be put in timeout. The F out of here. I want the Raiders to give my nephew something to cry about because the effing Queese fans, time for the Raiders to shine. That's a fact, man. I'm excited to see the team's final 53-man roster. I feel like on paper we'd be better than last year. What will be the production? What would the production look like, though? I don't know, man. But what I would tell you is this. I know we're going to be a better team than last year because I think Antonio Pierce has had a chance to put his mark on his team, his stamp on his team. I think players play freer under a guy like Antonio Pierce. I feel like the defensive scheme is a lot better because you don't have Josh McDaniels meddling. And I think everybody is going to take a progression and get a lot better, man. My guy Lake Sin, Wasted. What is it like watching the Raiders win a playoff game? Man, you know what's funny? Growing up, we hadn't been bad for a long time. It was like, you kind of expected us to win. The thing for me was like, damn, when the next time we go into the Super Bowl again? Because we were always in the playoffs. So for me, it was great, but it was expected. Al was alive, he was kind of still in his right mind. It was expected that eventually we were going to turn the corner. It was expected. So if I'm being honest, man, I think, man, it wasn't like how it is now. It feels more special now because we haven't had as much success. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy Hug D's in the place. Knowledge. We got a direct line to how it would be like in the locker room. Ask Christian Wilkins. And that's a fact. And ask Patrick Graham. So, look, if they're not kicking the tires on Xavien Howard, that goes to show you everything you need to know what kind of guy he is. You finally caught a lie. Appreciate you for pulling up. We got over 700 in the room. Wasted with your brother. Wasted, man. I can't wait to see you in Vegas coming up fall. My man, Wasted Talent. I'm going to give you sweet chin music. I'll tune up the band and everything. Listen, if you ever dream that you can give Wasted sweet chin music, you better wake up and apologize, Van City Raider. The F out of here with that.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
The F out of here, Van City. Say that. But guys, look. My guy, Eddie C. Rarely get to catch a live show. Thanks for the great rated content, man. Thank you for the $10 holla, man. Appreciate you, Eddie C, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Now, listen. We've touched on Xavien Howard coming to the Raiders. We're going to go back into the draft a little bit. Now, guys, the next player that, for me, completed this draft for me after the Brock Bowers deal was Jackson Powers, man. Like, I think signing Jackson Powers was a situation to where what we did was we shored up the middle of this line in real time. So now you have a situation where you got a young rook, you got a young stud athlete, and a lot of people will try to downplay Thayer Munford, but Thayer Munford is a stud. If Thayer Munford would have came out his junior year, Thayer Munford would have definitely been a first-round pick. Definitely been a first-round pick, right? Powers, the consensus number one center in the nation is, hands down, and he could play guard too. Beast, right? Andre James, very serviceable center. Very serviceable center, starting level center. A lot of teams would be lucky to have him. The fact remains we go up against Chris Jones 2 times a year. We need him to get a little better, right? Then you have a young stud guard in Dylan Parham that's going to play better in the zone. And then you have a Pro Bowl left tackle. This line is ready. This line is ready for prime time. The offensive and defensive line is ready for prime time. This is the first time in a long time that both of those positional groups are solidified. And then you look at the depth that we have with Cody Whitehair and some of the kids that we brought in with Glaze and all of these guys. Man, we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of depth. A lot. Competition at every position. I love it, man. I love it. My brother, East Coast Gridiron, is in place. I'm be doing a show with East Coast too, man. We got a lot going on. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron, man. He is moving the culture forward in droves. Yo, all 750 of y'all, man, go over to East Coast Gridiron and go hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man, and get them going, man. Van City, there isn't a person here that I thought we could get. Bowers at 13, Jackson Powers at 44. Those two guys were being projected way higher than our picks. This is the thing, man. This was a draft, man, with so much talent, bro. So much talent. And that is one of the reasons why, listen, it is important that you draft well. Because next year, say, for instance, we say, you know what? We got to get our quarterback of the future. Aiden's not the quarterback of the future, right? Or say, for instance, Aiden is the quarterback of the future, and we feel like we want to go get a star corner or something like that. We will have the latitude to do that because if you drafted, I think in this draft, if I'm being honest, I think the Raiders drafted probably 3 starters. They drafted 3 starters in this draft. 3 future starters. I really believe that. I really believe that. And see, that is the way you build a successful organization. Brock Bowers will be a starter, hands down. Jackson Powers is going to be a starter, hands down. Hands freaking down, man. And I think Glaze, man, look, man, eventually I think that guy's going to round into a pretty damn good player, man. And I don't want to sell you guys hopium. I went back. I had never really heard much about this kid, and I've done a deep dive into him. I'm going to do a short on it. I like Glaze, man. I really do. So I mentioned 100, they drafted 3 starters, and that is an excellent thing. So now next year, you go into the draft, you ain't got to worry about none of that. None of that. You can go and you can continue to address. Listen, you know Maxx Crosby for the foreseeable future should be it. Davante Adams, his position is solidified. Wilkins' position is solidified. You know what I'm saying? Position is solidified. You have more and more guys like that. Colton Miller, solidified. If you get these guys up front, Powers on it, solidified. So now these are less guys that you have to go out there and try to plug a hole. There are no holes. Now you're drafting for depth. Now you're drafting best player available. Now you can do some dynamic things in the draft. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. Yeah, wasted when Glaze was drafted. I was like, who the F? That's right. I didn't know who he was. And you know what? Excuse my ignorance. But I went back and looked into him. I like the kid, man. I really do. I really, really do. Devin Smith going to get this roster nice and right. So next year we could bring that quarterback to get us over the hump. And you know the crazy thing, Devin Smith? Who's to say Aiden O'Connell's not that guy? Who's to say Gardner Minshew's not that guy? You know what you got to do, bro. You know what you got to do, bro. And you know what I always say, man. You got to let AOC cook. Oh, you got to let him cook. Let him cook, my brother. My guy, Jack, when we play the Chiefs, how about we shift JPJ to center just to match up against Chris Jones? You got to keep that continuity, bro. It's either he's a center or he's not. It's kind of like trying to rotate a quarterback in and out. With center, once you put that guy there, if the guy's not hurt, you got to kind of leave him there. You got to kind of leave him there. But what's good is, with a guy like Chris Jones, he should never see a one-on-one matchup. He should be doubled every freaking play. And with Jackson Powers playing next to him, now you got a guy that's a goon that'll be able to take Chris Jones out of the play. Now the other guys in the line got to do their job. Jenny Castillo, me and my brother were actually raving about JPJ before the draft. He said if we were to get him, that we'd be able to run the ball all game long and contain Chris Jones. That's another first-round pick, all-pro. I hope he is. I hope he is. Yo, East Coast. Let me ask you a question, man. We're going to move out to Thursday. We need some more time to give you an informed opinion. Greatness waits. Yo, so East Coast Gridiron, man. Who's your favorite pick from the Raiders draft class, bro? Who's your favorite pick, bro? Look, you and I, we gonna link, we gonna do our thing together. But just give them a taste real quick, bro. What you think about this draft class? Who is your favorite pick from the Raiders draft class, East Coast Gridiron? Jack Burton said, "Wasted. I saw the tape. I feel like Glaze has slow feet." That's a pretty. I mean, have you saw all 22 on them, or you were watching highlights, bro? We got almost 800 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yo, let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get them likes up, man. Let's get us out in the algorithm, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's out there. Wait, Johnny Gruden, give me you about to get blocked. The F out of here. Tommy Etchenberg or Dylan Lube for sure. Yo, and Etchenberg, that's definitely a starter right there too, man. He is going to be a starter, man. He is going to be a star. I love it. We got over 800 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Solomon Mitchell, on the real, I had an effing heart attack when they drafted Bowers at 13 until I realized who he was. And then it was all good, baby. Now, I know, man. I know. Look, I did too, because, look, I was still disappointed that Michael Penix Jr. wasn't there. I wanted us to draft a quarterback. Now that we didn't, I got to put all my eggs in the Gardner Minshew AOC basket. And that's not a bad basket to put your eggs in. It's not a bad basket to put your eggs in, yo. Wasted. How do you feel about Dak talks? No. I don't want to pay big time money for a mid quarterback. No. No. I don't even want Dak Prescott to even be brought in for a visit. If he is, I'm gonna say it just like this.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
East Coast Gridiron, dropping some jewels in the chat. Dylan Lubay, people don't know how crazy good this kid is, man. When I scouted him at the Senior Bowl, he was the best running back there receiving and up the middle. He's going to be solid. You know, I called him on a show with Graphic and myself. I called him a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. What do you think about that, East Coast? He said black Dak is the black DC. Yes, he is the beige DC. He definitely is, man. F him. We don't want him here. F him. Johnny Guru says Dak is better than DC. Not by much. That's debatable. Yeah, he can get the F out of here with that. I don't want him anywhere. Glaze will not be starting for us anytime soon. He's awful. Someone has tape on him getting beat 10 times in one game. He's slow-footed for an NFL tackle. But is he slow-footed for an NFL guard? Because I think Glaze is probably going to transition and be put at a guard. And, eventually, he might round into a starter. I like the kid, man. I like him. And I'm not selling y'all no hopium. Said that's a good comparison. I look at him more like an Aaron Jones. I like that. I like that, man. I like that. Busy Ray said, y'all tripping. I'll take Dak any day. Hell to the no. Stick with AOC. Why would I go and pay Dak Prescott $40, $50 million to be mid? No freaking way. No freaking way. I don't want him. F him. I mean, would I sign Jared Goff? Yes. And twice on Sunday. I actually think Jared Goff is going to wind up being a Raider. I do, because Detroit doesn't look like they're going to give him any money. You know, Graf and I talked about this too. We in Detroit. Detroit doesn't look like they're going to re-sign Jared Goff. They drafted Hendon Hooker. He has a replacement there. I'd have no problem bringing in that former number one pick if the price is right. Bring him on in, man. I would take Jared Goff in a heartbeat. Said, bro, why sign Goff and O'Connell could be the same? Look, Jared Goff is a lot better than people think. He might be, he might not. My guy, Demon Hunter, man. Shout out to my brother, Jason Hunter, man. Gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships, keeping everything going. I really, really appreciate all the support to the channel, my brother. Brock Bowers is my personal favorite player in this draft. That's the easy answer. But to be honest, Tommy and Dylan were absolute steals in this draft. I'm not selling you any snake oil. I'm just being honest. Listen, bro, that is why I appreciate your opinion and I respect it. I respect it. We don't need any snake oil salesmen over here. Wasted. You didn't hear them shouting his name at the draft. Goff ain't going nowhere. Bro, I heard that and it doesn't matter. But I'm telling you something. If they don't pay this guy, he will be going somewhere. If they don't pay this guy and if they believe that they got a guy who they can put in on the cheap and a Hendon Hooker, don't you sit up here and tell me that they won't get rid of Jared Goff, brother. It matters. It matters how the organization views him. The fans can view him one way. If the organization thinks that they're not willing to pay Jared Goff that kind of money, then guess what? They won't be. They won't be. My guy, East Coast Gridiron, gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships. Thank you much for all of the support to the channel, my brother. We got almost 850 people in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hug D's, you are about to get unceremoniously booted. Wasted is my second favorite creator. Hugs and stuff. You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. I'm my favorite content creator. But listen, I will take it. Shout out to you, Hug, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Slapnut. He goes, we need the drug test to bring in that group. Crack, because serious lapse in judgment. Yeah, bro. Sniper Jones in a place. The negative talks on AOC ain't it, bro. You can be supportive of a kid while being critical. I can't jump on board on the fans already giving this team 7 wins by the metric and then don't watch. Wait, hold up. So this is the thing with me, Snipe. To me, I'm always in the business of looking for a QB until we haven't, you know what I'm saying? Like until we definitely definitively got our starting quarterback, I'm always looking. I like Aiden O'Connell. I have faith in Aiden O'Connell. I think he can be a good young quarterback. But if I'm being honest, he got to show me, bro. Because let me tell you something. For 10 years, a lot of Raider fans put their faith in a guy. And I'm not saying he was a bad guy. And there was always an excuse, and it was always something. He didn't have this and he didn't have that. The way it is for me, until you show me you the franchise quarterback, until you show me you can take this team and lead them to the playoffs and win, I'm always going to be looking and turning my head and saying, hey, what about this guy? Maybe we can bring this guy in. Maybe we can bring that guy in. That's just me personally. I feel like we should draft a quarterback every freaking year. Seriously. That's what I think, man. My guy, Louis Berry. Hey, bro, I don't want a slow right tackle like in 2015. Austin Howard, that is terrible. Bro, like I told y'all, I don't think Glaze is going to be a tackle in the NFL. I think he's going to wind up being a guard. He could be a pretty powerful guard. My guy, Nation Zone, man. Appreciate you for the $10 holler, man. Shout out to you. Nation, imagine with me being the disembarkation of the Raider cruise at all ports of Cali. The Silver Sea. Marky D is the GOAT for putting together a literal pirate ship for the nation. Now, yeah, have you guys heard about that? There's going to be a Raider fan cruise. Now, Thor just hit me. I got to read it when I get off the air. A lot of people are jumping on this cruise. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going on a cruise this summer, too, with the family, right? I don't know, man. A Raider cruise. That sounds like a plan, man. That sounds like a plan. I don't know, man. Maybe we could get, a Graph and Wasted live pod from the cruise. Let's see. Let's see, man. Let's see, man. I mean, what do y'all think, man? That'd be dope, man. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, bro. Look, the All Raider fan cruise, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta see what it entails, where they going, and all of that. My guy, East Coast Gridiron. I grew up with Glaze's cousins. Let me tell you now, they are an O-lineman family. He's going to be good. His uncle played center in high school and was highly scouted before getting injured. Shout out to my brother, East Coast Gridiron, just sprinkling game on the whole chat, man. Appreciate you, man. Will, he says, what Raider cruise? The Kardashian cruise? No, because, for you to have that kind of a cruise, you got to go down the dial of people who give a fuck about that guy. He's not our quarterback no more. The F out of here with that. The F out of here. Thank you for the insight too, East Coast, man. I'm going on a cruise in June, LOL. We are cruise people at this household. Yeah, we going on a cruise too, bro. We going on a cruise in late July, bro, into August, man. I don't think the Raiders cruise is going to be very child friendly. I don't think so either. But good thing I have young ladies now. I don't have little kids no more. You know what I'm saying? So if I were to go, man, I don't know. That'll probably be a guy's trip. But then it's like, do you want? I don't know. I don't really like traveling for more than a day or two without my woman, man. So I don't know. I'll probably bring my wife with me. Oh, so it's a cruise leaving LA and Mexico and going back. That's dope, man. We got to look into that, man. Johnny Gruden, you look. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You're actually getting blocked, not unceremoniously. You're getting actually blocked. Get the F out of here, Johnny Gruden. The F out of here. It's your nonsense. It's your weird comments. Get the F out of here. Black Plague. I saw a video where they said Glaze played right and left guard at his time at right guard was better. Bro, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. So I'll be the only one on the Raiders cruise with a Virgin pina colada and the Jags jersey screaming F Trevor Lawrence. Get him the F out of here. Look, bro, I don't know that's good for your health, East Coast, going on a Raider cruise with another jersey on. You know how our fan base get down. Jenny's been unceremoniously blocked. F out of here with that nonsense. Talk about the naked this and that. You get the F out of here. It's a troll anyway. So I'm one of the guys pushing for the O-line when everyone wanted to trade our friend Josh Future for Jaden. You said Jaden Fields. You must mean, Justin Fields and Jaden Daniels. But, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Wasted has always submitted that. I don't want to see us trade away our whole future. You know that and I know that. My guy Hug D's, man. Shout out to Hug D's, man, supporting the channel, man. Appreciate you for the $10 holler, bro. When was the last time we had this much depth and so many potential star rookies? The DA interview speaks to the team. Teams are going to have to beat us. We ain't giving anything away anymore. No, listen, and I'm going to be honest with you, bro. That's one thing about the Maxx Crosby interview that made me hopeful, that the two pillars of this organization right now are such dogs. That kind of behavior trickles down, bro. I love it. I love it, man. I love it, man. We are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And guys, look, we know that to win in this league, most of the time you have to draft your quarterback in the first round. And that's the reason why for Aiden O'Connell to secure this job, he is going to have to go in here and kind of be congruent with the direction his team is moving in and not be the reason we're losing games. He has to be the reason we're winning games. He doesn't have to be better than Patrick Mahomes, but he has to be a lot better, as far as on the mistake front than other people have been. Seriously. My guy, East Coast. I will ceremoniously give my draft grade when we do a live, this content. Appreciate you, guys. Appreciate you, my guy, East Coast, man. Appreciate you, dog. Yo, if it wasn't for the injury, Tom Brady would have never started. Everybody wants the new toy to lose later to the next. Wait, look, that's a little weird. Let me read that again. If it wasn't for the injury, Tom Brady would have never started. Everyone wants the new toy. 2 loss later the next day, or WB and other teams stat blessed. Omar, I don't know what the F that means, bro, but I understand what you mean in context. So you're saying that, if it wasn't for an injury, if it wasn't for Mo Lewis coming like a Michelin, knocking Drew Bledsoe out, we'd have never got Tom Brady, right? And God help us when we got Tom Brady. The league got Tom Brady, and that's true. Everybody always wants a shiny new toy, bro. But the thing that I'm not doing is that I am not going to sit up here and just allow somebody to be mediocre. I hope that he's a lot better. He has my support until he doesn't. I'm telling you right now. And I'm not trying to, go off on you. Oh, you type that back in the chat. I'll reread it, my brother. Yes, Jack Burton. East Coast Gridiron does have a channel on YouTube. And East Coast Gridiron, my brother, will put his link in the chat so you guys can go subscribe to East Coast Gridiron. Who was my favorite player growing up? Marcus Allen and Lyle Alzado. I loved Lyle Alzado. I loved him. He was a nut. He was a maniac. I love Lyle Alzado. I love Marcus Allen. And then when Bo Jackson came to the Raiders, Bo became my favorite. I love Bo. So those are my 3 favorite players, man. But East Coast, put your link in the chat so everybody can go subscribe to you, my brother. It's a casual spaz. Hopefully, the Cam grows to be a ball hop. He has that killer speed. What we need in the defense alone, Tyreek and Jack. Yeah, we do. See, the Raiders have always been predicated and built on speed. I love him because he has those elite traits. Hopefully, he could develop into a player, man. But I'm not going to break down too many of these players. We gotta really. What Graf and myself are going to do is we're going to focus on one player. We're going to break them down all episode for you guys, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Todd, what's up? If it wasn't for our center going AWOL before the Super Bowl, we would have beat the Bucks. You can go on and on and on and on. Yeah, Barrett Rude. Yeah, man. Not Barrett Rude, but Barrett Robbins. Yeah, man. That was nasty work. Hey, man, we still might have not, we still might not have beat them, bro. I mean, they pretty much knew our playbook. So who knows, man? Wasted. JPJ has his own signature burger, the Big Jacks. What would be yours, Martin? My burger would be the it would probably be the Wasted high stakes double steak burger. It's got to be high stakes. Y'all get a few more questions in, man. We're going to get out of here, man. We're going to get out of here, man. We are going to get out of here. Everybody on Twitter, get a few more questions in. If not, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be back at y'all tomorrow, man. No one is given the starting position. It has to be earned. But I'm behind AOC to succeed. Black Plague, I couldn't have put it better myself, man. Couldn't have put it better myself. Niles, the Flying Wonderful. Appreciate you for the $10 holla. Raiders Cruise with the black hole. I would not show up with another team jersey. Salute, Wasted. That's a fact. Wasted for president. Thank you. Appreciate you, yo. He said, crap. Can't publish links. If not, I'm not a mod in here. Whoops. Hug. I got to take care of that, man. My bad, Hug. I didn't know you weren't. I thought you were a mod, man. You were one of the mod fathers. I had no idea, Hug D's. I'm very, very sorry. I will take care of that right now, my brother. I got to go over to YouTube to do this, man. I got to make you a mod, man. My guy, Navy Blue, afternoon wasted. What's up, bro? How do you like the draft picks? Because I love them. I love this draft. This is the best draft I feel like we've had since 2014. He said, Wasted don't trust you. No, I trust Hug. That's my guy, man. My guy, Omar. I was saying that the moment the team starts losing, the same fans want that QB out. But, Joe, that is, listen, the root word of fan is fanatic. You know what I'm saying? So we have fanatical behavior. Yo, you can't really get mad at fans. We want results. But conversely, you got to freaking win, bro. You got to win. If you're not winning, people are not going to be behind you, bro. If you could have an extra third round pick, who would you have targeted? I feel like that would have taken you over the top, bro. Look, man, you guys know how I feel about this. I feel like the Raiders made a mistake by not bringing in a quarterback, right? I feel like the Raiders made a mistake by not bringing in a highly drafted linebacker. I probably would have brought in Peyton Wilson. I'm be honest with you. If I'd have got another third round, I'd have brought in Peyton Wilson. Knee problem and all. I'd have brought in another linebacker, East Coast. Don't you jinx my Knicks. LeBron and the Knicks are free agent. LeBron gonna be right where he at, man. Do all that crap. He says, all good people, just Google East Coast Gridiron. All the stuff shows up. Google it, bro. Google it, man. Yvette. So I agree. This draft was monumental. It sure was. From your lips to God's ears, Yvette. From your lips to God's ears. My man says Peyton Wilson doesn't have an ACL. Why Davante's name in the caption? Because we broke down his interview with Maxx Crosby. Go back, watch the replay. John James, 28. Wastley, honestly, what's the ceiling for this team this year with Rico or Favre understand? I think the ceiling for this team is possibly winning a playoff game and maybe getting into the conference finals. I think this team is definitely going to get in the playoffs this year. I do. I feel like everything is trending in the right direction, and we have such a lights-out defense, such a balanced football team. Balanced football is what wins in the National Football League, man. I think, if I'm being honest, to me the basement is 10-7. I think the ceiling could be about 11 and 6, man. 11-6, 12-5. Real rap. Yo, and before I get out of here, pray for Ruben Rust. George Holani is wasting away on the Seattle Seahawks. Happy trails, George Holani. And I know that Ruben Rust is the worst to wear for this. Shout out to my guy Ruben Rust, man. Shout out to my guy Ruben Rust, man. Peyton Wilson going to the Steelers was not fair. He's going to be healthy, and Nick Herbig is going to be motivated and not lose his job. They're getting younger, and that shit is scary. Yup. The Steelers are always going to steal it, man. My guy, Wasted, what's up? My godson played with Trey Taylor at Air Force. He's a stand-up dude. I love to hear it. Everything I've been hearing has been great. Paul Edgerton, you are about to be unceremoniously F. But no, guys, seriously. This is kidding around, man. Guys, let's get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go eat dinner with the family. You guys have a terrific night. Hug these. I will make you a mod right now. And you guys have a terrific night. I love all of y'all. Appreciate all the support to the channel, man. We are going to be warming it up tomorrow. Again, there'll be more Raiders news. We're going to hit you over the head all week, man. Love all of y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. My guy, your optimism is Raider Nation for life. We don't believe in a nation who will. We need to, bro. We need to, man. But y'all, love all of y'all. Y'all have a great night, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody here, man. And yo, y'all know what we always say.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
And love all of y'all, man. We out of here, man. Peace. Y'all have a great freaking night.